All right, jumping right in.
Oh yeah, see this. Were you ever in like a group? Were you part of like a group?
Yeah.
Were you part of like the Boy Scouts or any of that shit or any of those things?
Oh, a dance troupe. No,
You're in a dance troupe, bro? Oh,
no. I was part of a. I did Boy Scouts for a short time, but then I left that. That's insignificant. I think more so, like I had a friend group that played basketball every day.
okay.
When I was younger, so that was influential.
But y'all didn't wear like matching shit, did you?
No,
Okay.
nothing
So
like that.
I
We
was
just
part
played every day.
I was part of safety patrol.
Okay.
AKA elementary narcs.
The hallway monitor.
Oh yeah.
You had to be like, "Where's your hall pass?"
Oh, dude, yeah, we were. I abused my thoughts high, dude. It was unbelievable. We had at one point there was
you were into it, like you were like you enjoyed the power.
I got rock hard on that power.
Yeah,
rock hard off.
You're like holding people against the lockers, like show me your goddamn pass.
Do you know I could put you in ISSP right now? You know, like
you'd be so bored.
Also there was like this water fountain that was like the main hub for like. It was like a hangout spot, and we were to put helmets on top of the water fountain, like the mouthpieces, you know.
Yeah.
So none of the kids could, because that was the excuse. They would go there to I need to get water, and so we were denying kids like a basic necessity.
Oh, you wouldn't let them drink?
No, because they would hang out there and stuff.
Oh,
and
okay.
So we were trying to keep them. We're trying to keep them from like loitering and shit or whatever. And they were
funny.
also late to class.
What did you say you put on a helmet?
We had extra. We used to wear helmets, dude. We used to wear like a red,
just
like
around
orange,
day of the
like
day?
an orange neon sash with a badge on it, dude. And then a helmet, and it had like a sticker badge on it. And then we had extra ones that we'd put on the mouthpiece for the water fountain.
Were you riding a bike through the hallway? Or
No,
you were just walking with a helmet on? That seems cruel.
It was we looked Special Olympics as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's in those days, like, because this was like in the
helmets
90s.
were a very 90s thing. Like, people wore helmets back then.
Yeah, just cuz, dude. It was stupid, but
like you'd have a cool, like I had a helmet that had said shocker on it, and it had like lightning.
Oh, because
when I was real little, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was your? It's embarrassing.
That's the one you wore for your Huffy, you know?
Yeah. It was like my first helmet, and it was like shocker.
That was another thing. It was like with boys, it was like, hey boys, flames,
and
lightning,
and vehicles.
Yeah,
I used to have folders with like tanks on them and like planes and shit. Yeah, it's just or a car. They're just like,
hey, you like basic elements in war machines?
You like extreme weather conditions? You're a boy.
You're a boy. Oh shit, man. But yeah, so like I was in the safety patrol, and then I did like sports and stuff. And when you do sports, you wear a uniform. Like So inherently, I understand. Let's say like biker gangs or gangs in general. But part of me is it's funny to me because you gotta like the thing like a biker gang,
dressing the same.
They're dressing the same. They're
the
the epitome of manly supposedly in some worlds, because they're riding Harleys. But it's literally the gayest thing.
Yeah,
it's like they're in matching leather outfits. Like
matching leather. I love that they always say, like, they don't want to be called a gang. They insist on being calling a club.
A club,
which is like tones it down also.
Oh, way
They're
down.
Like, you're like, sweet motorcycle gang. You guys look crazy. I bet you party a lot or do meth or whatever you guys do. Swing chains around.
We do math.
All my motorcycle references from Road Rash.
So it's just weird. I get the wanting to belong thing and all that stuff.
I think that's all. That's it. It's like the feeling of belonging to something.
Yeah, but you could belong to things and not have to wear the same fucking outfit.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people like because if you look at groups, even outside of motorcycle groups, a lot of groups do wear the same things to identify themselves. Okay. Or even like you said on a podcast in the past, like you like wrestling, so you'll wear wrestling stuff, and then people know, like that guy's a wrestling fan.
Yeah, you put it that way, yeah. Absolutely.
But you don't. Not every wrestling fan only wears like one Hulk Hogan shirt. Yeah, which that would be weird.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that I think that is like the kind of lack of individuality in those type of.
Yes. Isn't that strange? Things? It's like I'm a rebel. I stand out.
I stand out, but I can only wear blue. Group. You know, like I don't know. It's weird. It's very interesting.
It's also like sort of an archaic tough guy kind of thing. It's almost like Italian mobsters.
Yeah.
Like it's like a worn out, tired kind of thing to be like, look at this tough mobster guy. Again, very like 90s. You know, like people loved that in the 90s and I guess early 2000s. But bikers also kind of thing. Like you could dress and you could be like this. You could be a huge, tough looking biker, and people are just like, like they kind of laugh at yeah. Same thing with you could be like a I don't know.
Here's
archaic feeling.
Here's the thing that's kind of funny to me. So you have legit biker groups, clubs.
Hell's Angels,
Hell's Angels, Outlaws,
Mongrels. You said
there's a couple other ones.
The Hooligans or something like that.
There's several. Then you have non, like according to RICO law, which is like the gang gang thing for like cops and stuff. They call it RICO.
Yeah,
I forgot
for
what
organized crime.
Yeah. There's several biker gangs according to that, but then there's these other clubs that they do the whole thing. They do the whole insignia stuff on the back of your jacket and patches and shit, but they're not criminal related. That reminds me of when you have like a venomous snake, and then you have another snake that mimics the patterns of a venomous snake, so it doesn't become a prey. You know,
it's like a Michelob non-alcoholic beer.
Yes, It's like I saw a caterpillar that looks like a snake.
Yeah,
and it's like so birds wouldn't like fuck with it. That's what that reminds me of. It's like, hey guys, we ride motorcycles, but we don't deal cocaine. Like, please don't hurt us. You know, like
all the cool things about.
Yeah, the bike. We don't distribute crystal meth. You know.
Yeah. I think so. Have you ever met bikers in real life?
I met a couple. I mean, because like some of the comedy shows we would perform at had, biker dudes.
I feel like Daytona's got a lot of them. Oh fuck,
Daytona all day. Actually, at Tiernanog, the mainstay like place where we do mics and showcases and stuff. After a certain hour, it's all biker dudes.
Yeah,
because I one time I got high on edibles, and I stayed. I was in Tiernanog till 7 a.m.
Oh my god!
I didn't even know I didn't know they were open that late, like or that early or whatever you want to call it.
Did they do it normally, or was it just like
it was on a weekend? It was like a Saturday night
doing it.
And so I got high on edibles, and I was I remember that vividly. I got high on edibles. I wore tearaway pants because it was my buddy Sean Robbins' birthday.
Yeah.
And we used to be in an air metal band called Wolverine because he looked like Wolverine because he has the Wolverine sideburns, and I was like the Juggernaut, And I was supposed to rip off my pants, and we were going to do an air metal thing with me in my underwear. Oh. Well, he showed up way late, and I was fucking toasted, like on edibles. So I still ripped off my pants, but now I'm super high, and I'm just floating around talking to people with my wearing a nut huggingest. I talked there was this one sweet woman. Her name is Stevie, and I talked to her for way too long without my pants on, and I would go in and out of the high. I'd be like, oh my god, are you okay with this? And she's like, it's fine. And then I'd go back to the high. I'm like, all right. So anyway, I like cookies. You like
just
cookies?
Start pointing down.
Just just penis. She was really sweet, but so then we all like gravitated out to the back patio, and I noticed that as the time went by, all the comedians started leaving, then all the regulars started leaving, and then the people that were entering were shadier and shadier. And this was me high. I was like, oh, this isn't good. So I'm like trying to button my pants back up, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I kind of want to be naked around bikers.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't. But they were actually pretty cool about it. They were just like, all right, bud. I don't know.
You're partying.
Why's your dick out? I don't know. Whatever. Cool. And then they would walk inside.
They put a vest on you.
Yeah. And then, so you would cover up, bud. It looks cold out.
I meant they like initiated you into the gang.
Oh. Hell yeah! How'd you know?
This is what
Dick Out Saturday. This is what we do around these parts. This
is our ritual.
We call that the Hell's Angle. Jesus Christ, so stupid. No, but it was like I've had several encounters with like not encounters. Encounters makes it sound like an aggressive thing. It was like I've had biker dudes and they're like they had a good night. A lot of them just it's like almost they're required to wear the jacket when they're out and shit. But they're just like they want to have a good time and like I think a lot. I remember one time I did crowd work at a strip club show. I did. And I was like, look at these guys fucking matching and shit. And then I looked and it said Outlaws on the back. I'm like, well, hey guys, this is my last show. Yeah, good. This has been my last show. And then they thought it was funny. And, because they knew I wouldn't be serious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another thing is like, they for the most part have a sense of humor. Yeah,
they seem to be like all about a good time, know? They, very like, but I think they like to come across intimidating at first. I don't know. So one time I was shooting a sketch with a couple of friends in the beach area, and there was a biker bar, like a known biker bar. There was a little row of bikes out front, like there normally would be.
Yeah.
And we were shooting like the sketch was just like a Full House parody, Full House intro parody. So it was just different characters like leaning on things and smiling like at the camera, like how they do. And they're just like doing something, and then like you interrupted them.
Yeah.
And then they turn and they're like, oh, So it was one of those, but it was like a biker guy. So my friend was just squatting next to a bike,
shit.
and like looking and be like smiling and pointing. And the guy had a helmet sitting on thing, and my buddy, we were like, you should grab that helmet. And he was like, fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
Took the helmet, put it on, and he's
fuck.
wearing it, and he's pointing and smiling and taking it off, putting it on the bike. And this huge biker comes out, and he just comes over and he's like, excuse me? So, and we were like, oh no. But this is middle of the day. This is like 1 PM.
Yeah.
And we're like immediately like, we're shooting a sketch. We're not touching your bike. We're trying to spouting it off. It's complete pussy, like comic pussies. They're like, I was like, we're thinking he's just gonna buck knife us, like, and he like got so into it. He was like, get on there, sit on the bike. He was like, get on, making us do it. So it ended up being really cool.
Yeah.
But it's funny that's always my experience. They seem intimidating and rough, and then you talk to them, and you're like, man, you guys are so much fun.
Yeah.
That's
unless you're a woman. I've heard horror stories.
I'm sure there's horrible stuff.
It's not a good world for a woman. Yeah, if you have a vagina, the biker world's a different fun.
I love the girls who sit on the back of the bike. They just ride on the back.
Well,
that seems like a life, huh?
That's what they have to, or they fucking get backhanded or some shit. No, but like, here's another thing though, with biker gangs, especially the big known ones. It's like that with street gangs. Because when I worked at the mall, we had I think upwards to 20 known gangs that came to that mall.
Oh wow!
And that was biker gangs.
I didn't even know
gangs.
20 gangs.
Yeah, there was
biker gang, street gang,
all kinds, yeah. And the bigger ones, we never worried about them because they were already being watched. As soon as you saw a jacket that said Outlaws on the back, cops, everyone already knows. Oh, those are outlaws. Or if you see someone wearing all blue, that's a Crip. Or and it was the lower level street gangs and stuff.
They're probably random.
Well, they're trying to get their name out.
Yeah. Okay.
And those are the ones like if you ever see a lot of random crime, it's a lower level street gang member. So because they're trying to put their name out there. Like someone who's actually affiliated to like the Bloods or the Outlaws, they're not gonna go and put the heat on themselves like that.
Yeah.
Now these like 47th Street Hot Boys or some shit like that was like there was some shitty gang names, and those are ones that you really had to watch out for because they were so hungry to try to get their name out there.
Yeah,
that they would do dumb shit.
Man.
Yeah, that's why it's called organized crime. Because a lot of times you do this stuff in the dark, in the silence.
Yeah.
It's a sketchy world if you're involved in it.
I can't even imagine.
But the ones like I said, the ones that are not known that want to get known, they'll do whatever they want. They'll do whatever they can to get known, and that's where it gets sketchy. You know what I mean? Yeah, because sometimes they'll wear hats. They used to have there was a gang called Buck Block, and it's a lot of them were just like street gangs. Like that's how the Bloods and Crips started out. It was like just street gangs. It was like this territory. It's like 45th, 46th, and 47th Street. That's this gang, and it started out territory. Then it just took over.
And then it just expanded to the point.
They colonized. They colonized. You know, it was like
true Americans.
Yeah, true patriots. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember Latin Kings, and then Blood and Crips.
We had Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings,
and I think MS-13 came around, but that was I'm talking about in Long Island. But
Long Island.
But that was after I left. I heard I would never really.
They're sketchy. I mean, they have no care for anybody. Authority, doesn't matter. They're that's where they're sketchy and dangerous. If they don't care about authority figures, they'll kill a cop, and if they'll kill a cop, they'll definitely kill you.
Yeah,
if you got in the way. You know,
it's scary that the random violence is terrifying. You know.
Yeah,
because if people are fighting, if it's like a gang versus a gang, it's almost like there's an understanding of what you're getting into.
Yeah,
you know, but people just get killed randomly.
Yeah,
I just saw a video of Atlanta, and some guy killed a security guard and robbed him. It's like no reason, you know. It's like
I mean that was in the back of my mind every time I worked third shift when I worked there because and that was actually like the plot line of the Joker in the Dark Knight.
Oh, really?
Because he even did like a speech where he was just like, "It's the random order of things." It's like if a gangbanger or a soldier dies, that is the planned order. But if you shake things up a little bit, you know, where he was like trying to create chaos, introduce chaos and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so he was basically talking about how no one bats an eye when a soldier or a gang member gets killed.
Yeah, because they just assume that's what's supposed to happen.
You know, one school bus or one hospital. You know,
I know. It's funny how people kind of compartmentalize people dying like that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, because it's the job. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
So I mean, if you're if you're a carpenter, you know, you're used to working with wood and stuff. So you're not used to delivering babies. So if you have to deliver a baby, it's like, oh, what the fuck? You know. So it's just
like a splinter at work, and your wife gets a folded tweezer.
Oh man,
it's terrible.
But yeah, man. So I don't know. It's just. I think ultimately it's just people a lot of those gangs. Any of them really. It's if you break them down because we used to get in fights and then we'd beat them up and we'd bring them back to the office and trespass them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you get them back away from the crew, away from the public eye, where they're trying to look tough. And you just get them down there and you talk to them and you break it down. You're basically because they're in trouble now. You know, you're like, hey man. We got you because that's what the cops would do. They would a fight is really a misdemeanor for the most part. Just a misdemeanor or a simple battery. It's like a low level felony if anything. But they're wearing colors, and so the cops would scare them. They're like, well, we're gonna take picture. We're gonna put you because once you get involved with RICO, everything you do now is monitored.
Oh wow!
Yeah, everything you do because everything you do can be affiliated to your crew or your set or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. So if you a simple shoplifting isn't a simple shoplifting. It's like, oh man, you know, he's this is
part of a bigger
thing. Yeah. And then so you're monitored a lot. You know, because they're going to try to use you to get to the higher ups.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where it gets that's where it gets deadly for those guys. Because the whole anti-narc ratting and snitching, snitches get stitches. So when they get caught up, that's where it gets sketchy for them. Because
they have to either go to jail for 30 years or rat out their people and then probably get killed.
Even if they don't get a punishment or anything, even if just the mere fact they got caught.
Yeah.
The gang is already like, oh, what are they saying? They're saying stuff. They're talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
And then they might as well just get rid of you, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and so like that's not good. I mean, at the very most, they'll get punished, you know, in some capacity. It's yeah, and then like especially if you're dealing with like mob and shit like that, like any of them talking to cops is not a good thing.
I listened to a mob book on tape, some like biography about, it was like New Jersey and New York mafia people.
Yeah.
And the big thing I took away from it was there was like absolutely no loyalty. Like how they always talk about like keeping the, you know, like the loyalty in the
family.
Yeah, honoring like all those traditions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like everybody either got killed or would rat or go to prison.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But most of them would rat.
Ultimately, they're because those type of situations brings it's like a lighthouse beacon for narcissists.
Yeah.
You know, not narcissists and self-centered people. You have to be, because like ultimately you will kill anyone to get money and notoriety.
Yeah. Or power.
Yeah. So like you're driven by greed, you know, and so it takes a certain type of person to even get involved in that world. And so there's no loyalty, especially at any moment. I mean, you could be told to kill your brother because your brother, you know, talked to a traffic cop for 5 minutes longer than he should have, you know. And so, yeah, there's no loyalty in that world.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny to think about. Imagine that's your life, like you're a criminal. I feel like you'd be paranoid all the time. I feel like the way I am, I wouldn't be able to handle the pressure of being a criminal. I would be nervous I would feel like I would be too nervous all the time. I'm nervous all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like
that's because you probably have a conscience, you know, things like that. You know, you have morals. You have.
But that's what I mean. Like if you like present day do you feel like you could be a mobster?
Present day me? No. Maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly. I don't know. I in my 20s probably. In my 20s.
I guess guys in their 20s probably is your best shot because you're pretty reckless.
Well, that and I was more willing to. I was more toxic as a person for starters.
Yeah.
But like it's just, you know, I was ultimately I was all about bravado. I wanted to like put my, you know, I would like at the mall. We're not supposed to be really fighting people, but like I would try to hit somebody as hard as I possibly fucking can, just so I can get it on camera.
Yeah.
And then we can brag about getting the greatest hit or whatever that night. Yeah, that's the type of shit I did.
I mean, I feel like that's exactly what you'd want to do, you know?
Yeah, so imagine if you gave me more power, technically.
Yeah.
And weapons and shit, you know? I mean, who's to say I wouldn't, like, just cap a dude just because I was, like, I wanted to prove, you know, put my reputation out there, like, that's the dude you don't fuck with, you know?
Yeah,
I liked it at the mall when I was, like, I was the bulldog dude. I was the dude. It was weird. He had all these big, giant guys who used to be in the military, but I was the guy that, like, that's the guy. That's the one you don't. That guy, like, you know. So I can see how that gets to people's heads. You know, it's gross. It's gross when you think about it.
Yeah.
I jokingly talk about it a lot, like that world that I lived in, but I don't. I mean, looking back, it's yuck. You know.
I know it's funny. Like, I don't know if that comes with age, but like craving attention lessens a lot. You know.
Yeah.
It's like you want to be good at what you do, but you, like, I don't know, young people like doing, like, acting out for attention is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you just want to be the center of attention. You just want. I think also you stop caring about so much attention. Like, like it feels good to get attention from certain people, you know, and that's about it. Like I don't really generally care about. It's weird because we're entertainers. We should care. But I don't generally care about what the general public like wants from me, like cares about me and stuff like I'm at the point in my life where I want certain people, I want their love and validation, you know what I mean? And if I don't get that, it'll hurt, but it's not gonna kill me. Like,
yeah.
Whereas years ago, that used to be I wanted it from everybody. I wanted the admiration of everybody.
Yeah.
But like, I guess I'm just more realistic, I guess now.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the world of entertainment, but like I guess I lost the delusion of grandeur that I'm going to sell at Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? Like those days, I'm fine with just being a good, reliable, hired hand and making it somewhat decent living. Like I filed my taxes, and like I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize how much miles and stuff and all that. Even with the pandemic stuff, technically.
Yeah.
I put out like 20,000 miles.
Wow.
20,000 miles.
In a year?
Last year.
Wow.
20,000 miles. I worked every week, basically almost twice, at least 2 shows every week for a whole year. So every weekend, I worked every weekend, and that's not including mics and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did it because it's for the love of the game. Because after all my deductions and stuff, and I actually took a loss. Now the cool thing was when I filed my taxes, though, I went to a tax place. I'm not gonna say the name, but I went to a tax place.
Yeah.
Because I filed with them last year, and then I basically talked. I showed the lady. I'm like, Mama, this is what I make. That's not a lot. Like, is there any way you can like take a couple hundred off the tax fee? Because like I already know it's gonna be this much right out the gate. Not to mention if I owe anything and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, let me see. So she started putting my information in the computer. And she's like, oh, I mean, you got to file these 3 forms, and each one of those like $200 a pop, So like almost $600 just to file.
What?
Almost 600. Well, with them, right? And I was like, oh my god. And she goes, you have Cash App? But yeah. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you can file your taxes. I'm like, even these, like the 1099s? And she goes, yeah. And then she in the office of that tax place helped me file my taxes through Cash App.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she goes, I file my taxes through the Cash App. I'm like, but you work at this place. She goes, I make $12 an hour here.
She's like, oh, I paid $600. Wow, that's so much money.
Yeah.
I stumbled. So fuck TurboTax. That's what most people use, and they find a way to charge you like $80 somehow.
It's still $80 is still not bad.
It's not. Yeah, it was not bad. But I found a website called. And it sounds like a scam. It sounds like the Chinese government collecting your data.
Jesus Christ, what is it?
It's called
You Pay Here. Oh God, Jesus.
You're gonna Shane Gillis yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm about to get canceled, bro.
And they're gonna be like,
one of our
Marcus Crespo said, "You stay here."
Oh yeah, yes. 5 years later, when I'm really blown up. Oh, this fucking moment is gonna be the death of me.
I'm in the positive this year. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
So the name of that tax thing that you filed with. That sounds like a scam.
freetaxusa.com.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't even trust that link.
Dude, it's amazing. It looks just like TurboTax. The shit works, and I don't know. I found it. Someone
found it on your actual home computer.
Someone recommended it to me from like a friend of mine who's likes finance stuff.
Gotcha.
And
did you get spammed with boner pill ads after?
I'm sure I did. Something had to happen. Like nothing in life is free. So I don't know what's happening, but there's probably a Dan Venti in Beijing, Shanghai. He's locked in his apartment yelling.
Dan Venti. That's the second one. That's I'm definitely losing my Netflix special now.
Like we could have let the first one pass, but
no, he doubled up. He doubled down, man.
Well, yeah, I think that's about it. You have any more biker things to end on? You ever want to ride a motorcycle yourself?
No.
Me neither.
No.
It seems scary.
Like I said, in my 20s, I was like, yeah, man, that's a surefire way to look cool and get pussy. But but now I'm just like, that's a surefire way to never walk the right for after you get that accent and I couldn't. My thing is I'm too safety orientated. Yeah. Like I would want one of those jackets with like you ever seen that where it looks like a shark fin?
Oh, doesn't it like puff up?
It's got like a molded plastic fin.
Like over your spine.
Over your spine, just protect your spine. But like, I would be wearing that, and that's not biker cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the ones that's like an airbag. Like you fall on the ground and it puffs up, so you're rolling like you're inside a beach ball.
I've never seen that. That's
really?
Cool. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's like a inflatable vest, but that has to be like so uncool as a biker, you know?
Yeah.
They probably take pride in it. Like, I like watching motorcycle crash videos. You ever see like the ones where they're on like
psychopath. I love when people get ran over by trains.
No, I mean like the crotch rocket motorcycles.
Oh yeah. They're trying to pop a wheelie.
I just saw one recently. The guy was going like, he almost went 300 miles an hour. He was like 298 or something like that, and he crashes. And you don't see anything. You just see, like, it's the camera on the front of the bike, so it's just, like, chaos.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, to see how fast they're going, you're just like, I can't even believe people would do this. And then they crash, and you're like, of course.
Of course you crashed.
Of course you crashed.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? And, like, I don't know. But anyway.
I think that's dumb. And as we already know, it's no fun to be dumb. But
it's cool to be foolish. And talk in rhythm.